Hi Aries, welcome to your October 2019 Tarot Scope with me, Raphael from Reydiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. If you haven't already, please don't forget to like, share, and if you should so choose and it resonates, hit that subscribe button. If you are already a continued subby, you know I love you for it. With that said, yes, as you can see, I'm back to my original format now that everything is kind of a lot more settled and a bit more ready to go. With that said, if you would like to book a personal reading or FLP or PLR session with me, you can do so on the website address below. If you haven't got it yet, and you look in the description box below, you will be able to find the link for my retrograde survival kit. Yes, I said that right. You guys asked me about this ages ago and I finally created it. It's a PDF. It's going to give you all of the information that you need to survive the retrograde of each planet. And it kind of goes through a little bit of everything that's going to help you, help you get through that transit. And by the way, as you know, Mercury goes retrograde on the 31st of October. So if you want to get your copy of that, you can do so in the link in the description box below. I would like to, as always, bless all of my decks of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance. And I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So let's have a look, see what the week ahead has in store for you. Your first card out is your actions and interactions with the world at large, and this month you get the Two of Wands, right? So you are deciding to step onto the path of your future. This month, Aries, you are asking yourself, what is next for me? Where is it that I go from here? It's always an important question to ask yourself. And with the Two of Wands, this is about you seeking out more affluent circles. It's about you seeking out the best possible future for yourself. You're asking yourself, where do I go next? And what are the steps that are going to get me to my most abundant future? What are the steps that I need to take to get myself to where I would like to be? And the Two of Wands is one of my favorite cards of the minor arcana, actually, because it always sees you reaching for more than you have. And this isn't like in a grabby or a greedy way. It's about you really assessing where you are at the moment and what it's going to take to get you to where you want to be. I absolutely love this card for you because it means that you are ready to start down a new path to tread in order to get you to where you actually want to be, to make your dreams a reality. This is the month where you get started. So even with that Mercury retrograde energy, you are pushing past it to make something happen. So your money and materials this month, what is going on with your finances? Aries, this month you get the Queen of Swords, right? So this is a month where you're going to have to be really discerning about finances. This is a month where you're going to have to really start reining in the belt. And, you know, this is the thing. We're talking here about you stepping towards a more abundant future. Sometimes you have to make cuts. Sometimes you have to edit your life. Sometimes you have to edit the frequencies that you resonate on in order to reach that more abundant life. You know, the saying goes, one step, two steps forward, one step back. It kind of is that this month. When it comes to your finances, the Queen of Swords is basically saying this month you have to edit your finances. You've got to look at your accounts. You've got to look at your monies. You've got to look at your incomings and your outgoings and ask yourself, are you getting the best deal? But more importantly, can you make cuts? Are there things that you are willing to sacrifice now so that you can have greater and more abundance later on? The Queen of Swords is basically saying to you, what is it that you can that you can phase out and let go of in order to get to where it is that you truly want to be? So your communications with the world at large this month, you get the Three of Pentacles. This is about studies, it's about learning, it's about gathering information and knowledge and asking yourself, what is it that I need to know? This is going to be a really explorative month for you, Aries. This is about you really delving deep to ask yourself, okay, what do I need to know? Where are the gaps in my knowledge? More importantly, where can I gain the knowledge that I need? You know, this is you asking yourself and also asking other people. Communications look very good this month. You've got a lot of action, including Mercury in your 7th house, especially if you're an ascendant Libra, an ascendant Aries, right? Because this is then happening in your 7th house, which is absolutely beautiful. The Queen of Swords there actually as a sign represents Libra. So this is really good for you, you know, speaking to people about and gathering knowledge on the things that you don't know and finding out, you know, sometimes we need to learn what it is that we don't know. Right, and in order to do that you have to open up a dialogue, but you have to also be ready and willing to take on new ideas, new methodologies, new ways of doing things, or allowing people to point out what you don't know and not take it personal. This is a month where you could be hearing things from people and you think, oh wow, that felt a bit personal. While it may feel that way, it's not necessarily an attack. It's actually supposed to teach you something, and we can all learn something from somebody. So then finally, your heart and half sector in your personal relationships of love. This month you get the Queen of Wands, right? So you've got 2 queens this month, right? And really nice as well, because you've got complementary elements of the queens. You've got the Queen of Swords, which is air. You've got the Queen of Wands, which is fire. Fire and air are a good match because the oxygen feeds the fire. So speaking to people and acting on the things that you are told this month could really lead you towards some form of success. Now, for those of you that are single, the Queen of Wands is basically saying, reaffirm your boundaries now. Set your intention of what it is that you're prepared to give in a relationship, what it is that you are prepared to accept in a relationship. Once you get clear on that stuff, anybody that is coming in, if they come up against those boundaries, you can ask yourself, do I need to be more flexible here, or do I need to stick it in, right? This is about really defining your lines, your boundaries, and understanding how, when you do define your boundaries of what you want, what you need, what you're prepared to give, what you're prepared to allow or to take, everything becomes much easier, right? Because everybody kind of knows where they stand. And this is the thing about Aries energy. It's very upfront, right? This is one of the things that you guys do best. So for those of you that are partnered, the Queen of Wands basically says more sex, more sensuality. This is delving into that part of your life with your partner. This is about finding more intimacy and really making time for more time with your partner, making that a priority. And the fact that you've got it right next to the 3 of Pentacles means that this month you and your partner could be learning a lot about each other, what your wants are, what your needs are, what your desires are. Take a moment to really listen to that, because it will really help this month of bringing you closer together. But remember, the theme of this month is exploration. Right, so if your partner says, hey, I want to try this, be up and open for it, because you never know where it could lead, right? A much deeper understanding of each other lies on the other end of that, that sensuality. So your first week of the month, you've got the Magician card right underneath the 2 of Wands. I mean, this is beautiful. So the 2 of Wands there, plus the wand that the Magician holds in his hand, that makes 3. And the interesting thing is, I was saying with the 2 of Wands, it's about asking yourself, where do you go next, right? Well, the 3 of Wands is putting it into action. So this is really you taking stock of your life and saying, right, where do I want to go from here? What is it that I want to build? And ultimately, what is the next stage of my life? The Magician card gives you the energy for that. It gives you the power for it. And because it represents Mercury in communications, this is about you doing the Aries thing and saying, you know what? If it's going to take somebody to put themselves out there, I'm happy to do that. If it's going to take somebody to utilize their energy and push past how they feel, I'm ready to do that. I'm game. It's kind of like you're saying to the universe this month, whatever it is that's going to take, to get me to that next phase, I'm willing to put it in. The Magician card gives you strength. It gives you power. And this first week of the month, you could be aligning with or meeting somebody that is in a position of authority or in a position to help you in some way, shape or form. Remember what we said about the communications there. A part of this may come in the form of them pointing out what it is that you don't know, or where the shortfalls are in your knowledge. That is a good thing. It is an assistance. It's not an attack. Your second week of the month, you've got the Tower card underneath the Queen of Swords. So yeah, finances this month, it looks like it's going to be that way for everybody, because we've got Mercury going retrograde, and when Mercury's retrograde, it tends to slow business, commerce, all of those things down a little bit. So if you're feeling it, everybody's feeling it in some way, shape or form. The fact that you've got the Queen of Swords here with the Tower card, it does mean this second week of the month you might really want to start honing in, and it might be that you're cutting somebody off. It might be that this month you're saying to somebody, especially in the second week of the month, look, you know what, I can no longer finance this, this and this, or I'm no longer willing to put money into this, this and this. And you may very well be met with some resistance, because, you know, when the monies are cut off, people tend to get a bit edgy. So just keep that in mind. The third week of the month, is the Hermit card underneath the Three of Pentacles. Lots of learning going on, lots of gathering information, gathering knowledge. This is a great month for that. Be open to it, be open to learning, be open to studies, study with various different people. If there's one topic that you need to know more about, find several different people that are experts in it, because each one of them will give you a piece of information that is going to be valid and that will stick with you. That's just the way that it works. You know, if you stick with one teacher, yes, they can teach you everything that they know. About 25 to 30% of what they can teach you though will stick, because of the way that it resonates. If you find 3 or 4 teachers and 25 to 30% of each one of them sticks, suddenly you're working from a much bigger pot of experience and understanding about a specific subject, right? So then the fourth week of the month, the Lovers. Oof. This is a very, very steamy month. For those of you that are in relationships, love, sensuality, sexuality looks brilliant for the last week of October. You know, we're heading into colder times. We're heading into a Mercury retrograde. And you might, as an Aries, say, look, you know what? I know where I'm going to put that extra energy. So this is beautiful. For those of you that are single, this could be a time where you're really seeking that connection. It could be a time where you are, again, laying the firm boundaries. You could be getting to know somebody at the end of the month, and you could be really sort of laying out, right, this is what I need from the relationship, and if you can offer that, this is what you will get in return. It's kind of like there's a lot of decisions and back and forth being made when it comes to relationships, which is great. Okay, and then finally, the key to the month is the Five of Pentacles, right? So the Five of Pentacles is not always, well, I mean, it represents loss or lack sometimes, but it also represents the ability to find sanctuary when things are difficult. And I really feel that this relates to this whole thing about the Three of Pentacles. There is going to be dialogue opened up this month, and some of it might feel personal, but remember to step outside of that. If you can step outside of how you feel about somebody poking holes in your argument or showing you where the gaps are in your knowledge, you will move past lack and you will start to head towards the abundance that you're trying to create. This Five of Pentacles is saying, remember, in the lesson is where you find your blessing, right? I've always believed that, and I found those specific succinct words for it last year. You know, in the lesson is where you find your blessing. So wherever it is that it comes from this month, even if it's from a source or from a person, like I've always been the kind of person, even if it's somebody that I can't necessarily resonate with, if they're telling me something that is objectively true, that I know is for my highest good, I will take that on board. That is the value of true wisdom, right? Is being able to look beyond the source, being able to look beyond how you feel about what it is that you're being told and say, right, you know what, this is information that can help me, so therefore I'm going to take it on board. Took me a while to get there, but I got there eventually. All right, so I wish you all an abundance of love, light, peace, prosperity, and abundance itself. Have a fantastic month. Let me know in the comments how it shapes up for you. Take care, and I'll see you soon.